Okay, what's up? This is the film Ratatouille. This is a fantastic film by Pixar, 2007. Yeah, I even did some drawings again. Here, let's see if this is any good. Can you recognize who the characters are? And that's, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I'm just practicing. Yeah, I really like this movie because I've only seen it, I guess, twice. I sort of rewatched it recently. It's hilarious. I don't know. It's so funny. And Pixar is so good at these movies. This one was directed by Brad Bird, who made The Incredibles as well, and The Iron Giant. If you haven't seen The Iron Giant, it's awesome. It's a really, really good movie. Kind of pretty moving as well. And also, I feel stupid, but I find her, like, I don't know, that's the only time, I don't know, she just seems cool. Like, for an animated character, she's actually kind of attractive. I know it probably just sounds stupid. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I don't know, there's a certain quality. I really like the voices used. Patton Oswalt does the main Remy. I think it's Ian Holm does this short guy who's also hilarious. Janine Garofalo, I think, does her. I forget who does the main guy. Yeah, this movie, I really like the like everything about it. It's so well done. The concept is original and kind of weird and kind of ironic, I guess. Little rats or mice that, I guess they're rats, and they're interested in food. Or one of them is interested in the taste, and the others just will eat anything. And it's just I like Auguste Cousteau's sort of philosophy. Anyone can cook. And it is kind of interesting. Like, you can think of the rats as an analogy for poor people, for just for people, lower class people that are basically seen as rats. Like, that's the way you would react to a homeless person, potentially. Like, in a place like that, they'd be like, "Go, get out of here, scram!" No, don't take the food. No. So I think there's like an analogy there, and then but the idea that one of them might actually be able to cook, and then. But just that, I love the way he kind of pulls the hair of the guy. There's a part where he's asleep and he's got glasses on and he's like, reacting to things. There's too many little things. There's another part, I just saw it was on downstairs. There's a part where there's like, Remy wants to get out of the area. There's a window open and he's trying to get there and he keeps all these crazy things happen. It reminds me a bit of If You Framed Roger Rabbit. There's an animated short, I don't know if it's in the movie or if it's just a separate animated short where he's looking after a baby and just all this crazy stuff happens. It reminds me a bit of that, where Remy's just constantly one thing, he falls into this pot and then that's getting carried and then he quickly jumps out and goes somewhere else. He nearly gets cooked, he nearly gets burned underneath. Anyway, and then someone shuts the window and he's like, linguine. I think it's Alfredo linguine. I think both of those words mean spaghetti or like pasta. They're types of pasta. And he he smells the soup and he's like, ooh, opens the window to vomit. And then it cuts back to Remy. He's like, zooms in at the window. He's like, yes, the window's open again. I love that detail. That's all he cares about. He's just, the window's open. Tries to get out and then he's like, oh, hang on, let's just fix this up a bit. And then it's like, no, there could be one more thing. And starts adding lots of stuff, and then he's gonna add, and it's like, the guy's found him. There's so many weird moments that I just think are done spot on, like just really in a hilarious way, without ruining the story. Like the way Gusteau keeps appearing, and Remy's like, are you gonna keep doing that? And it's like, can you do something about it? It's like, what do you expect me to do? I'm just a figment of your imagination. It's just very matter of fact. And then it's kind of a parallel as well when Alfredo's talking to, I think that's his name. I feel like it doesn't sound right. He's talking to Remy, and he's like, we're talking to a rat. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on? And then someone might overhear a bit of it and be like, okay. I like when the girl is like yelling at him and like stabs the knife and he's like, okay, well, another knife. She's really intense with that knife. and then he's like trying to pull it out and can't, and then, okay, and then she just pulls out all three. Yeah, there's too many funny moments to mention. And I like Anton Ego, the reviewer. He does seem kind of miserable. Like I feel like there's people like that. They're just so negative. They just judge things. Everything's like, that's terrible. That's pathetic. And I love how when he has the Ratatouille, it takes him back to like when he was a little boy, and just one of his first almost personal memories of something tasty that he had. And then brings him back to here. He's like, oh, he's like a little boy again. It brings that out again. I think that's really cool. The sort of monologue he has near the end about the critic's role compared to the movie's role. It's interesting. I think it's really, really, insightful. I remember watching it for the first time thinking, this is just so, like, God, like, Pixar it doesn't make any sense. How can they keep making such great films? They make everyone look so sloppy. Everyone else looks so sloppy with their movies. So he says something about how, the critic might not be... Something like critics won't be remembered in the long run compared to even pretty average movies will tend to last for longer. And sometimes the critics could be funny by putting down a movie in a funny way, but they can also be important in terms of finding something new or something that's unappreciated or underappreciated and sort of promoting it and saying this is actually really good. I remember like with Roger Ebert, he really liked Dark City, and there's a few other movies where it's like the fact that he really liked it and thought it's a great movie that got me interested. I've got his book. Where is it? I forget, but it's the great movies, and it's the fact that he loves it makes me a bit more interested. So I think there's a lot of truth to that. If a critic can get behind something, it can really help it reach its audience. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Every Pixar movie is so creative. I feel like I say that all the time. The the way he controls him, and then they just keep messing up. There's a part where they're kind of... I think Remy's hoping that he'll actually reveal that he's got a little rat in his sort of above his under his chef hat. But there's some parts where they sort of argue, and then Remy makes him slap himself, and he's like, "Hey." I thought that was hilarious, and the part where he helps him lean in to kiss that girl, kind of helps him avoid being stupid. I don't know, because he's so awkward, and the guy has such a big nose, Alfredo. It's kind of, but that's the great thing with animation. You can always exaggerate features, and it brings things out, in kind of an explicit way, or like a visual way that in other movies you can't do. So yeah, I actually think I would think Ratatouille stands out to me as a comedy, as just a really, really well-made, hilarious comedy that also happens to be a Pixar movie with also some cool, exciting action bits and just, gorgeous, gorgeous 3D animation. Their stuff looks so good. So much detail and so much, like, nice use of colors and subtle little things. Yeah, another part I love is when I forget how it happens. Maybe there's a cleaner or something, but they tie this guy up and throw him in there. And then this short guy, he's like, he wants the same. I forget. He goes back into the kitchen and sees all the rats, and then they grab him and choke him up and throw him in the cellar. Just the image of all these rats. And then it's also really cool how Anton Ego asks to see the chef, and they're like, well, you can see the chef, but only if you wait until everyone leaves. And he's like, okay. It's very cool that he just waits there and then sees it, and it's just a little rat, and he's like, he didn't say much, he just said, thank you for the meal, and then left. And then later, it's like he's one of the few people that I guess knows about the rat. And then Remy looking through the window, and it's like, what do you want for dessert? Surprise me. And Remy's like, okay, no problem. It's very cool. I've even read a couple of food experts or critics have said it seems to really capture what it's like, that love of food, and that it's kind of romantic, and the just the feelings surrounding it. But I don't know, I'm pretty simple with food. I like food, but I kind of just like the same foods, like spaghetti, pizza, Milo, chocolate, a little bit of chocolate here and there, and I'm set. I have things like carrots and bananas as well, but Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. It's a classic. It's one of the funniest movies I think of all time. Like, quite seriously, if you're making a list of comedies, I think Ratatouille could easily be in the top 10. Just purely on its comedy. It's got different kinds of comedy, but like character-based stuff, slapstick, just situational comedy, timing, the voices and the timing of the way they say things is hilarious. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.